Welcome to the Deep Dive, your essential shortcut to staying well-informed.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into, well, probably the biggest headline in tech right now, OpenAI's release of GPT-5.
Absolutely. It feels like more than just, a software update.
Definitely. It feels like it's really reshaping how we think about intelligent tools and what they can actually do.
And that's what we'll unpack today. We'll look at GPT-5's, frankly, surprising new capabilities, those eye-popping price cuts, which could really kick off an industry price war.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And even that unexpected emotional weight OpenAI CEO Sam Altman mentioned, comparing himself to Oppenheimer.
Which is quite a comparison. We'll definitely get into that. Plus, we'll look at the broader generative AI trends for 2025 and Spotlight, a practical tool you can use.
Mm-hmm. And for this deep dive, we've pulled from, a whole stack of recent tech news, AI industry newsletters, company announcements, the usual suspects.
Right. And our mission, as always, is to cut through that noise, spot the most important bits, and give you a clear picture of what it all means for AI's future and for you.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this. GPT-5, OpenAI's new flagship model. It's already making waves, like we said, really reshaping how we view these tools. It feels like a genuine leap.
It really does. GPT-5 is it's a major evolution. It blends that fast, natural conversation we expect with, pretty advanced reasoning.
Okay.
And what's key here, I think, is its identity as OpenAI's first really unified AI model.
Unified. What exactly does that mean in this context?
So basically, it combines the complex problem-solving, the deeper thinking of their O-series models with the sheer speed and responsiveness of the GPT series everyone knows. The big ambition here, really, is to move beyond just being a chatbot.
Right.
It's aiming to be more like an agent, a system designed to actually take action.
Action like generating whole software applications, managing your calendar, maybe pulling together complex research briefs from scratch, not just talking about it, but doing it.
That's a fundamental shift from chatbot to agent. And I saw something about user experience upgrades, a real-time router.
Yeah, that router's interesting. It apparently decides on the fly whether to give you a super quick answer or, take a moment to think harder for more complex stuff.
Smart. And the personalities, cynic, robot, listener, nerd. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a clever touch for customizing interactions, making it feel more dynamic. But the real story is the performance.
Right, the benchmarks. Altman called it the best model in the world. Does that hold up?
Largely, yes, across several key areas. Take coding. GPT-5 edges out rivals, scoring 74.9% on SWE Bench verified.
And SWE Bench is?
That's the respected industry test.
Yeah.
Measures how well AI handles complex real-world software engineering tasks. So nearly 75% is pretty solid, reliable for tough coding.
Okay.
And it apparently excels at what they're calling vibe coding.
Vibe code. Basically, spinning up software apps almost on demand from just a concept. And then there's PhD-level science. On GPQA Diamond, GPT-5 Pro hit 89.4%.
Wow, compared to?
Significantly ahead of competitors like Claude Opus 4.1, which was around 81%, and xAI's Grok 4 Heavy at about 89%.
Yeah.
So it's holding its own there.
So it's not just creative stuff. It's tackling genuinely hard technical and academic problems.
Exactly. And accuracy, that's another big leap. Hallucinations, when the AI just makes things up.
Yeah, the big problem.
They're claiming a significant reduction, down to like 4.8% on one test. That's huge compared to over 20% for older models like O3 and GPT-4o.
Okay, that's a meaningful improvement.
And even better on health questions, just 1.6% hallucination rate on one specific hard benchmark. Plus, it's better at flagging potential health issues. Safety seems like a big focus, too.
How so?
Less deception, apparently, and it's better at telling the difference between real misuse attempts and just harmless requests. So fewer annoying rejections for legit queries. And subjectively, they're saying better taste and good vibes for creative stuff, design, writing, suggesting a better grasp of aesthetics, maybe.
Interesting. Okay, that's a lot of upgrades. But the accessibility, this is maybe the biggest news.
You could argue that, yeah.
It's now the default for free ChatGPT users. That's massive. First time a reasoning model like this is available without hitting a paywall.
Aligns with their mission of broad access. And for paid users.
Right. Plus, subscribers, 20 a month, get higher usage limits. Pro subscribers, 200 a month, get unlimited access to both GPT-5 and this GPT-5 Pro version.
And Enterprise.
Team, ADU, and Enterprise plans get access next week. And for developers, the API comes in 3 sizes, GPT-5, Mini, and Nano.
giving them control over costs and how chatty it is.
Exactly. Base model is 1.25 per million input tokens, $10 per $1 million output tokens.
Which we'll come back to, because that pricing is something else.
Hmm.
But it's worth noting the rollout wasn't perfectly smooth, right?
No, there was some initial confusion, backlash about GPT-4o access, some logic errors reported.
Yeah, but OpenAI jumped on it fast, restored GPT-4o for Plus users, added manual model switching. It just shows how messy these big launches can be. You have to react quickly.
Absolutely. Okay, but let's pivot to that pricing you mentioned, because this is where it gets really interesting, especially for anyone building with AI.
Uh-huh. The strategy seems crystal clear: undercut the competition aggressively.
How aggressively are we talking?
Well, that API pricing, $1.25 input, $10 output per $1 million tokens, it mirrors Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro, though Google gets pricier with heavier use.
Okay, matching Google.
But the key comparison is Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.1. Opus starts at $15 input, $75 output, even with discounts. OpenAI is dramatically cheaper.
Wow. Developers must be reacting strongly.
Oh, yeah. Calls like aggressively competitive a pricing killer. And crucially, it's even cheaper than OpenAI's own GPT-4o model.
Wait, cheaper than their previous top model?
Yep. The message is clear. Intelligence per dollar continues to increase. That's powerful if you're using these models at scale.
So, the implications. This could actually spark that LLM price war everyone's been expecting.
It really could. And honestly, that would be welcome news for a lot of startups building on these platforms. Their economics right now are often described as, well, shaky.
Because the foundation model fees are high and unpredictable.
Exactly. Lowering those costs could make or break some of these businesses.
But isn't there a contradiction here? We see these massive investments in AI infrastructure. OpenAI's $30 billion a year deal with Oracle, Meta planning $72 billion in 2025, Alphabet $85 billion.
Huge numbers.
Right. Normally, massive costs mean prices go up, not down like this. So what does this signal about the financial sustainability of this whole AI ecosystem? How does that math work?
That's the billion or maybe $1 trillion question, isn't it?
That's how.
It's fascinating. On one hand, maybe it shows extreme confidence in scaling, believing the unit costs will plummet eventually, like cloud computing did.
Okay, economies of scale.
Or it could be a long-term market share play. Prioritize getting everyone hooked on your platform now, even at lower margins, and bet on massive volume later as these tools become indispensable. It's a high-stakes gamble either way.
A gamble indeed. And speaking of high stakes and maybe unease, let's talk about Sam Altman invoking Oppenheimer. That comparison landed with quite a thud.
It really did, and what struck me was the depth of what he described. Feeling useless, outmatched by his own creation. That weird feeling of inadequacy facing what the AI could do.
And specifically linking the emotional weight of the GPT-5 release to Oppenheimer's experience.
Yeah.
It's not a casual reference.
Not at all. Oppenheimer famously quoting Hindu scripture, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," after the Trinity test.
Right. It implies Altman sees the potential for his work to be transformative in a way that's also potentially dangerous, maybe. Like Oppenheimer grappling with nuclear power.
Exactly. Connecting it to the bigger picture, Altman's analogy really throws those mounting ethical concerns into sharp relief, doesn't it, as AI gets closer to human-level abilities.
Yeah, it forces questions about, well, worker displacement, the sheer concentration of power in a few AI companies, what it means for human autonomy, our purpose.
All of that. And you can see regulators worldwide just scrambling to figure out how to even approach this pace of change.
It's a lot. So while GPT-5 is the big headline, it's happening within a much broader context, right?
Yeah.
How does it fit into the wider generative AI landscape for 2025? What else is shifting?
Right. Perspective is key. Generative AI is definitely maturing. The focus is shifting, like you said, from just potential what models could do to how they can be used reliably and at scale.
More practical application.
Exactly. And a huge driver is that cost drop we talked about. Generating an AI response is now like 1,000 times cheaper than just 2 years ago.
It's 1,000 times. Wow.
Yeah, making it almost as cheap as a basic web search. That opens a door to using real-time AI for all sorts of routine business tasks. And you see newer models, Claude Sonnet 4, Gemini Flash 2.5, Grok 4, DeepSeek V3, they're focusing more on speed, clearer reasoning, efficiency, not just raw size.
That makes sense. But what about hallucinations? That problem of AI making stuff up. Is progress being made there?
It's still a major challenge, but yeah, there's progress. Our RAG retrieval augmented generation is pretty standard now.
Remind us what RAG does.
Sure. It basically combines searching for relevant info before generating the answer, trying to ground the AI's response in real data. It helps a lot, cuts down hallucinations significantly, but doesn't eliminate them.
Still happens sometimes.
Still happens. But now we're seeing new benchmarks like RGB and RED Truth designed specifically to measure and quantify these failures. It's being treated more like an engineering problem you can systematically fix, which is a sign of maturity.
The speed of all this is just mind-boggling. For companies trying to keep up, that knowledge gap must feel enormous.
Absolutely. That speed is a defining feature. And within that rapid change, a really significant shift is towards agentic AI in enterprise adoption.
There's that word again, agentic.
Right. These are models designed to take action, not just generate content. Think about your AI assistant not just finding information, but actually booking that appointment or drafting that email reply proactively.
So interacting with other software, triggering workflows with less human input.
Precisely. There was a recent survey where 78% of execs said they believe digital systems will need to be built for AI agents just as much as for humans within, 3 to 5 years.
Wow. That's a fundamental redesign of how we interact with tech.
It really is.
But don't these powerful models need tons of data? I keep hearing about a data wall. Is finding enough high-quality real-world data becoming a bottleneck?
You're spot on. It is. High-quality, diverse, ethically sourced real-world data is getting scarcer and more expensive, which is why synthetic data is becoming so important.
Data generated by AI itself.
Exactly. AI models creating data that simulates realistic patterns. Research, like Microsoft's SynthLM project, shows it can work for training at scale. And interestingly, they found that bigger models need less data to learn effectively.
So bigger models might actually help overcome the data wall, in a way.
Potentially, yeah. It's a complex interplay.
Okay, just to round out the broader picture, any other quick headlines we should mention?
Yeah, a few quick ones. NVIDIA's got new Cosmos World Models Reason and Transfer 2 aimed at robotics. Google's AI coding agent, Jules, just graduated from beta, powered by Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Okay.
OpenAI actually released some open source models recently, the GPT-us series, which is interesting. There's still debate swirling around Google's AI overviews and if they actually help website traffic quality.
Right, the impact on publishers.
And on the risk side, growing talk about security concerns with OS agents, AI having deeper control over computers and phones, that needs careful handling.
Definitely. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. The power, the pricing, the ethics, the trends. With all this happening, what's a practical takeaway for you listening right now? For our tool of the week, we picked something that ties directly into AI's creative power, Gemma.
Right. Gamma calls itself an AI design partner. Essentially, it helps you whip up clean, interactive presentations, web pages, even documents really fast. And the hook is you don't need design or coding skills.
So speed and ease of use are key.
Exactly. Built for making impressive stuff with minimal effort.
What makes it stand out specifically?
Things like one-click creation for slides or docs, built-in analytics to see how people engage, interactive elements you can embed, easy export to PDF or a live presentation mode.
And really, no design skills needed.
That's the promise. Plus, collaboration tools for teams. It seems pretty versatile.
What about cost?
There's a free forever plan with the basics, and then paid plans start at $10 a month. Pretty accessible.
And people seem to like it. What are users saying?
Testimonials mention things like saves hours of labor, becoming something of a campus hero for making great materials quickly, being a game changer for internal collaboration. One user even said it revolutionized how we create high-impact proposals. The core value seems to be freeing you from wrestling with design tools, so you can just focus on the actual content, the message.
Makes sense. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Our prompt of the week is designed for Gamma or a similar tool. How can you use AI to turn, say, a messy outline into a slick client presentation?
Okay, here's a template you could adapt. You'd paste something like, okay, AI, turn this rough outline into a client-ready presentation using Gamma's style. The audiences specify them, like potential investors. The main goal is explain objective, example, to secure seed funding. Structure it with 1. A clear intro slide. 2. No more than 10 slides total. 3. Suggest specific visual or chart ideas for key points. 4. Bullet point key takeaways on each slide. 5, a strong closing slide with a call to action. Here's my outline, then you paste your detailed notes here.
Nice. So you give it the context, the goal, the structure, and your raw content. We definitely encourage you to try that out, see what happens.
Yeah, experiment with it.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it really feels like we've been exploring this core tension, right? This unbelievable speed and power of AI, especially with GPT-5, smashing up against these really deep ethical questions and huge industry shifts. It's dynamic, maybe even a bit unsettling.
Unsettling feels like the right word sometimes, especially with that Oppenheimer comment lingering. And maybe a final thought to chew on is this. As these AI models become more agentic, more woven into our lives, maybe the most critical human skill won't just be using AI effectively. Maybe it'll be developing the discernment to truly understand its ripple effects, to question its outputs critically, and just navigate this incredibly fast-changing world where even the people building this stuff express profound unease. What new kinds of intelligence will you need to cultivate to really thrive in this next era?